So here we are, after 120 hours of painting, we have our finished product. I really enjoy doing this. I really love the challenges that watercolor painting presents. And those of you that paint with oils or acrylic and maybe then tried watercolor know that it's an entirely different process altogether. For example, you can't really paint over what's already there, so you have to sketch it out well and you have to plan your painting well in advance. So in this video series, I talked about how I select the scene, I talked about stretching paper, sketching out the scene, then I did a series of videos on following my progress as I went through the painting and getting it all painted out. Now before we take it for framing, there's one more thing we need to do, and that is take it off the stretcher board. And we will be doing that shortly. I want to just get the photograph that I painted this picture from. So I'll just hold it up here. And you can see it turned out pretty good, I think. So anyway, I'm really pleased with it. And so in a few minutes I will take my painting over to my table and I will show you how I take it off the stretcher board before bringing it for framing. So here we are over at our table here, and I'm going to show you the process of taking the painting off the stretcher board. It's very important that you do this correctly because at this point there is a possibility of you damaging your painting. I actually had a painting crack once from the tension from the stretching of the paper. So you have to be very careful how to do this. Now it may be tempting to take an X-Acto knife like this and just cut around the edges. That would work to get your painting off, but it would damage your stretcher board. So you have to do it in a way that doesn't damage your stretcher board and there's no risk to the painting. So what I do is I may take an X-Acto knife and just sort of start a little edge here. And then what I do is I take the paper and I lift it as much as I can from the painting. Let's try on this side. This takes a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, but it's important that you do this very carefully. So you can start lifting the paper this way, lift it off, and once you get your finger underneath, you can actually use your X-Acto knife then to lift the paper, but make sure you don't cut your stretcher board. Go. And the same thing along this side. And then the last side, I just fold back this way and I can take it off with the X-Acto knife along this way. So now we have our painting off the stretcher board without doing any damage to the stretcher board itself. So all I have left to do with this painting now is take some scissors and trim off the edges. And it's important when you're trimming the edges to get rid of all the craft tape. So you trim right to the edge of the painting. And the reason for that is craft tape has acid in it. And acid over time will cause the paper to yellow. And I'm hoping that this painting is going to be hanging on someone's wall 100 years from now. And I want to make sure I want to keep it all nice and acid free for them so they can enjoy it for many generations to come. Well, thank you for joining me on this video series. I hope you've learned something or at least found it entertaining. I certainly enjoy doing it. Thank you very much.